will play bat in the sixth position. Matthews, the designated hitter this afternoon, with Jenkins, the closeout batter, in the lineup. The Matthews will bat in place of, I'll pick that up for you in a minute, Jones, I believe, the first baseman. Anyway, leading off the Panthers, Clayton comes to the plate facing the left-hander. On the mound, Rosemeyer for Dixie. And Spendlove straightening the atmosphere in the turf behind the plate right now. The umpire's in place. And we're just ready to go here this afternoon. If you're wondering what to do on a Friday afternoon, this is it. It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Rosemeyer sets himself, checks with his catcher, Spendlove. Dixie wants to talk again. And I don't know if we'll have a pitching. 3 runs scored on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 men left on base. And after the first half inning, Pineview 3, Dixie coming to bat. We'll be back. On the mound for Pineview. Bowers behind the plate. At first base, Jones. Hafen on second with Mortensen at third. And West, the shortstop this afternoon. Morby in left. Clayton in center. And Jenkins in right. Wind up the order for the Pineview Panthers. Dixie coming to the plate will lead off with Spendlove. They'll be followed by Reber, Garasoli. Then Jolly's the designated hitter this afternoon. Gates, Frankie, Monson, Bundy, and Wells to lead out the batting order for Dixie. Pineview jumped all over Dixie, led off with Clayton in their half of the inning. He walked. He went down to second base on a hit pitch on Morby. That put 2 on. Then Bowers came up, got on base on a fielder's choice. And West came up. He hit into a base hit that hit into a man going to second base. 2 RBIs on that base hit, but the first out of the inning was there. Then a base hit by Mortensen, a walk on Wood, a strikeout by Hafen, and a ground out 4-3 by Matthews. And that was the inning for Pineview in their half of the first inning. Dixie coming to bat now, and they'll be looking to see what they can do with Wood on the mound. Throw down to second base right on the money. The infield comes on to give encouragement to Wood, and we're ready to go here in the bottom half of the first inning. Want to remind you our game is being taped for television on KSGI. And we invite you to tune in or listen for the first of the week to see when that game is going to be rebroadcast. As we've talked about at the first of the game, a very important game for both teams. Pineview leading everybody. We understand a little bit why. They're very aggressive. They don't waste any time, and they get the job done. Dixie in second place, kind of all alone. They're looking to move up a notch. And so a lot of hopefuls in this ball game this afternoon. Spendlove stands in. He's the catcher for Dixie. Stands right-handed. Stands square away. They're playing him square away in every field. Here's the pitch. Inside and low. Ball 1. The 2 teams, a lot of pride in Washington County and across the state. Dixie and Pineview played for the state championship last year. Dixie came out on top in that championship game. Here's the Wood throw. Ball 2, and the count 2-0 to the leadoff batter. Reber on deck for the Flyers. Wood taking his time now, checks with Bowers. He's ready. The throw. Inside and low, ball 3, and you can bet that Spendlove will be taking right here. Stands out with 1 foot. Good crowd on hand here at the Elks Field this afternoon, and again we invite you to come down. Ball 4. So Spendlove, the leadoff batter, gets on a walk, and that puts the first batter aboard. It'll be Reber. And then Garasoli. Reber plays left field. Garasoli, the shortstop. And both have shown some ability this year in baseball. Wood sets himself. Reber still outside the batter's box and now moves in. He's a right-handed batter. A little bit of a closed stance. Stands about straight away, though. Wood checks the runner, comes home with a pitch. Got a dropper in there, but a call strike 1. The count 0-1. 0-1 the count. Wood out of the stretch position will just look the runner. Spendlove at first. Takes about a 8-10 foot lead. The pitch swung on, breaking ball to the outside. Strike 2. That was a good breaker that time. Back in, ready to go. 0-2 count to Reber. A look at the runner. Here's the throw. In the dirt, gets behind the catcher, but doesn't go anywhere. Ball 1. Kind of came up out of the dirt at him, and then just stayed right there in front of the plate, down the first base side just a little bit. One and 2 count. Wood gets his call from Moore. Now goes back to first base, almost in time that time. Spendlove, a little slow in getting back, does so. And we're ready to go again. Wood sets himself. Here's the throw. Missed downstairs for ball 2, and the count evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. As you can hear the breeze coming up, makes it pleasant. We get it in the microphone. Here's Wood's 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging around. Fouled it back. The catch couldn't hang on. And so Reber stays alive. That came off the inside of his leg. And he's just trying to walk it off and shake it off just a little bit. 2-2 count. Wood checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball quite high, not going a long ways. The center fielder comes over, puts the glove under it. That's Clayton, and squeezes it in for the first out. And there's one gone in the bottom half of the first inning. With a runner on Spendlove, and Garasoli becomes the batter. The designated hitter Jolly is at the plate. Garasoli stands in from the left-hand side. Checking with his coach down the third base side. And we're ready to go. Wood ready, checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch to Garasoli, swung on, back on the screen, foul, strike 1. Garasoli stands in from the left side, as we said, the left-hand side, but stands square. And they're playing him just about straight away. That long fly ball to Clayton just moments ago, he had good range, went a little more than halfway between left and center, and put the squeeze on the ball. Pitch back to first. Good move by Wood. He'll set himself. Garasoli ready. Bowers gives the call. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. And the count 0-2. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the first inning, 3-0 Pineview lead. As they put 3 across in their half of the first. Now the throw back to first base again. Pretty good steam on the ball. Wood sets himself again and check the runner. Come home. Missed outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Garasoli. And we're ready to go again. Wood stands off the rubber. That forces everybody out, almost a timeout situation, but not quite. And now sets himself again, pitching out of the stretch to the left-hander. Looks the runner at first. Goes back to first with a throw. Respecting Spendlove's speed. We're set and ready to go again. 1-2 count. Pitch on. Foul ball down the third base side, high out of play. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wood has a good quick release. Once he sets himself and starts his windup, there's hardly any time left by the time the ball hits the catcher's glove. And pretty good speed on the ball, pretty good velocity. Wood ready. The throw, swung on a line drive back to the second baseman. Up, bobbles the ball, and everybody's going to be safe. So Garasoli is on an error on 4. He'll be at first. Spendlove will be at second, and the tying run theoretically comes to the plate in Jolly. Jolly's the designated hitter. Spendlove goes down to second. Gates, the on-deck batter. Right-handed batter. Swung on this, and a little slow roller back to the third baseman. Goes to second for 1. That's all they'll get. So put Garasoli going out 5-4 if you're keeping track. Jolly goes to first on a fielder's choice. Spendlove goes down to third. And so now with 2 out in the bottom of the first, Gates comes to the plate. Gates, the third baseman, checks with his coach. Runners at first and third. Spendlove at third. Jolly at first. And Gates stands in. What?
Runner at third, right?
Okay. Fonsbeck is the runner at third base, so he's in as a pinch runner. Pinch runner in for Spendlove. Wood on the mound with 2 out. Gets the outside corner for strike 1. Ball really broke to the outside. And he's ready to go again. The pitch floated up and away from him for ball 1, and the count evens at 1-1. So correct ourselves. Fonsbeck, the runner at third in place of Spendlove. Jolly still at first. Wood ready and throws in the dirt for ball 2. And they count 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Check the runner at first. Come home with the throw. Ball 4. I only had that as 3, so I missed 1. So first base on balls loads them up with Gates at third, Jolly at second, and Fonsbeck is at third. Frankie, the pitcher now, will become the batter.
You know, other than that, we got a good deal. This is good enough. Good enough for right now.
And Frankie can help his own cause right here quite a bit if he can bring a runner home. 2 out. Bottom of the first. Wood ready. Throws high for ball 1. They count 1-0. We're ready to go. Frankie stands square. Inside pitch, ball 2. And they count 2-0. 2 out. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Got the outside corner, strike 1. And the count 2-1. Wood has a good pitch in that one. Same thing again, but fouled back over our heads out of play, and the count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garasoli taking on a big second stop. He'll go to first in time. 1 gone. 6-3 if you're keeping score for the first out, and that'd bring Matthews to the plate. Matthews, the designated hitter, ground out to the second baseman back in the first inning, and Jenkins, number 9 in the order, will be the next batter. Matthews stands in. Playing about straight away. Right field shading him to the right field side, however. Here's the pitch. A bunt, push bunt back to Frankie. One hands it, goes to first. It's not going to be in time. And Matthews gets to first base on an infield hit. Just a slow roller back to the pitcher. Couldn't come up with it. And plain out ran it down to first base. Jenkins now steps up. Jenkins ground out of the shortstop. Garasoli back in the second inning. On deck is Clayton, the leadoff batter. Clayton, the batter, according to the numbers, swings on it. They say foul ball. So evidently that's Jenkins at first, because that was Clayton by number. And he'll come back. Clayton back in with an 0-1 count. And Frankie sets himself again. Spendlove behind the plate. Calls for the pitch. Comes in. Strike two. And the count 0-2. A 1-2 count. Frankie checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Missed outside corner, ball one. On the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 count. Clayton stands back in. Frankie ready. Here's the throw. The runner's going, swung on, right back to the pitcher. He'll go to first for the second out. The first baseman drops the ball and everybody's safe. They had him out by 2 steps. The first baseman, Jolly, I believe it is, could not hold on to the baseball and just dropped it. And so everybody's safe. At second base is Jenkins, Clayton at first base, and Morby is the batter, and that could have been the second out of the inning. So mental errors by the Flyers put them in a little bit of a hole once again, with 1 out and 2 on here in the top of the 4th inning. Frankie now sets himself on the mound, ready to go. Morby still waiting to get in. Bauer's the on-deck batter.
Okay, come on now, Marv!
Frankie ready. Here's the throw. Square roundabout. Misses inside. It's ball 1. That's all right. 1-0 count. Morby takes his time now, looking at his coach, finding out the instructions just exactly. Frankie looks the runner at second, comes home, squared around a bunt again, right back to the pitcher, and nowhere to go again as the first baseman came in. Everything left open. Error on somebody. I don't know who you call that on. But Jenkins goes down to third. Clayton down to second with Morby at first. The pitch came in on the bunt. The first baseman came in on the bunt. The second baseman could not get to first in time. And so everybody is safe. And the big guy, Bowers, boy, if ever you wanted him to connect with one right now, it'd be right here. Could almost ice this ball game very quickly. if he could lift it and get it into whatever breeze there is. 3-0 the score, 1 out, bases loaded.